everyone, welcome back to my channel. On today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make some really cute DIY Christmas decorations for your dolls. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe and turn on that notification bell. To start out with, let's make a more festive background to use in our videos. I'm going to be using some wrapping paper that I found at the Dollar Tree to make my background with. I got one that is red with some silver and gold snowflakes, but you can get any one that you want. You can also get some better quality paper, but the Dollar Tree kind usually works pretty well for this. You're also going to need some tape to use, and what I use for the base of my backdrop is I usually use a big canvas, but you can also use paperboard or cardboard to make the base of your background. I'm actually out of blank canvases at the moment, so I'll be recycling this old one that I haven't used in a while instead. It's kind of a background in the woods, night sky, and it honestly doesn't look the best, so we're just gonna be adding the wrapping paper over it. And if we ever do want this backdrop back, we can easily just remove the paper. I'm gonna start by rolling out a section of my wrapping paper and then placing the front of the canvas on top of it. Then I'm gonna cut my paper to where there's about 2 inches extra on each side. Then I'm just gonna fold the wrapping paper over the edges and tape it together. I'm also gonna fold in the corners just like you would do on a present. Make sure you're very generous on the amount of tape you use so that the paper won't fall off. Once you have taped all sides, you can flip your backdrop over to see what it's gonna look like. Now we're gonna go from this to this. I know that many people use many different things for backdrops, but for me, wrapping paper always seems to be a good option. I will warn you against using wrapping papers that are really shiny though, because for me, they always reflect my lights super bad. This one's fine though. Next up, I'll be using these mini glass containers I found at Dollar Tree to make some miniature jars of candy for my dolls. I'll also be using some Christmas sprinkles for this and a peppermint. First up, I'm gonna open my mini glass jars, and I really love these because they're so cheap at just $1 and they're perfectly Barbie sized. First, I'm gonna crush this peppermint up until it's in really small pieces. I would suggest using something other than your hands because it didn't really go very well. Once my peppermint is crushed enough, I'm gonna put the little pieces into my jar. And here's what my crushed peppermint in a jar ended up looking like. It actually has a whole bunch of big chunks of the peppermint, so I don't think it looks very well, and I'm gonna try this again, this time using a thing to smash my peppermint down rather than do it with my hands. Then I'm gonna pour it in my jar, and I think that this second attempt ended a lot better. The sprinkles were also a lot easier to do than the peppermint, and I think that they look just like little pieces of candy for the Barbies. I'm just gonna secure my little top on, and there we have it. We can use a different assortment of sprinkles to make different types of candy for our Barbie dolls. Next up, I'll be using some old jewelry boxes to make some wrapped presents for my dolls. I really like them because they're literally like perfectly sized for Barbie dolls, and they're really easy to come by. I also like to use this Amazon gift card box because it looks just like an Amazon box that's Barbie sized. You can also use the inside of a ring box to make presents with for your Barbies. I'll be using the same Christmas wrapping paper that I got at the dollar store, but you can use any kind that you want. I'm just gonna wrap the boxes up just like I would any other present, making sure to fold in the sides similar to how we did on our background. Once all of our presents are wrapped, we can use some ribbon to make a bow around them. I'm gonna place the ribbon under my present, then tie it like I would a shoelace. And here we are with 3 miniature Barbie-sized presents. Now I'm gonna be making a Santa hat / elf hat for my Barbie dolls using this red felt and a cotton ball. You can also use a white pom-pom, but I didn't have any. I'm gonna start out by measuring around my doll's head to see how wide I'm gonna need the hat to be. It looks like it's gonna be at about 4.5 inches. Once I have my measurements, I'm gonna draw a pattern out on my felt. I'll be making 2 triangles that have a base that's about 2 1/4 inches, which is also half the size of my doll's head. Now I'm gonna grab my two pieces and place them together with the side that's marked on facing outwards. Then I'm gonna sew the two pieces together with a needle and some thread. Once I've sewed together all but the bottom side, I'm gonna secure my thread and then flip the hat inside out. My design is definitely looking more like an elf hat than a Santa hat, but I think I might be able to fix that. I'm gonna grab my cotton ball and tear it into a little piece. Then I'm gonna roll that piece up into a little ball to make the top of my Santa hat. Then we're gonna hot glue this together to keep it in place. I'm gonna take the rest of my cotton ball and pull it apart to make some fur to place all around the end of the hat. We'll be right back after I finish hot gluing everything. Ta-da! At the start, I really had no idea how this hat was gonna turn out, but I think it's really cute. My measurements were also pretty accurate because it fits on WG just perfect. It also looks a lot more like a Santa hat with the fur. We can also use other colors of felt to make our hats look a little different. For our next Christmas DIY, I'm gonna be making Barbie-sized candy canes out of oven-baked clay. I'm gonna start by taking a small amount of white clay and rolling it into a really thin, snake-like shape. I'll also be doing the same for some red clay. Once the strands are as thin as I want them, I'm gonna grab them by the end and slowly twist them together. This part is a bit tedious, and you have to be careful or you might accidentally break the strands. Once I'm done twisting the pieces together, I'm just gonna break off the end and shape it into a candy cane just like this. A much easier method is to grab your two strands and just start rolling them together. This goes a lot easier than by individually twisting them together. You can make candy canes of any color combinations you want, but I'm gonna be sticking to Christmas colors. You can also roll your clay up kind of like a cinnamon roll to make cute little Christmas lollipops. I'm gonna do this in red and green. My candy canes, lollipops, and other designs are far from perfect, but I think they actually look decent. Next, I'm gonna bake these in the oven real quick, then I'll be back with you guys after I'm done with that. Here we are after everything is baked and hardened. I have to say, I think my lollipops are probably my favorite things. They turned out so cute. And I just used a toothpick to make this stick part. I would caution you not to make your candy canes too thin because if they are, they break apart really easily, and already I've broken several.
Cool. That just broke.
Now that we've made a few things for the dolls, let's go ahead and decorate the dollhouse for Christmas. First, I'm gonna get out my Christmas tree. You can find ones like these at Hobby Lobby and other crafting stores. That's also where I found these little ornaments, and the rest I just got at various places. The star up here, that's actually a piece of jewelry I had, and I also have fairy lights on the tree, but we're gonna keep them off for now. I think the tree will fit perfectly over in this corner here. Now I'm gonna place the DIY Christmas presents I made around the base of my Christmas tree. I found a 6-pack of these miniature silver glittery trees at Dollar Tree, and they're just the right size for Barbie dolls, so we're gonna put these up in the dollhouse. I have this ancient red and green pillow with a cat and a goose on it that I think my great-grandmother made, and it's kind of Christmassy, so we're gonna put it on the couch. I also have this furry white pillow I made from a furry fabric, and it's kind of Christmassy, so we'll also place it on the couch here. I found this holiday joy sign at the Dollar Tree, and I think I'm gonna remove this piece of twine so we can hang it on the wall here. I'm just gonna try to cut it off with a pair of scissors. I don't really know. Now I'll be adding some mounting putty to the back of the sign so we can hang this on the wall. I'll be replacing my family sign with the new one. I also found some Christmas garland at the Dollar Tree, and I think I'm gonna place it along the ceiling line just to give the room a little more Christmas feel. For now, all I have is some tape to secure it with, so that's what we'll be using. Well, that was kinda hard. I also found some red and green Christmas bows at the Dollar Tree, and I'm gonna place them where the tape is so you won't notice it as bad. All they have securing them in the back are these little twisties, which is kinda handy so you can strap them onto whatever you want. And there we go. I think the red bows really add a nice touch to the garland. I also added a bow to one of the Christmas hats, and I think it looks really cute. I also have hundreds of thousands of these tiny little presents here to decorate with. Way too many. I'm not joking. And here is what our completed Christmas doll diorama ended up looking like. Thank you so much for joining me today as I make some Christmas DIYs and prepare my dollhouse for Christmas. I'm honestly really happy with how everything turned out. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, plus also turn on that notification bell. We post new videos every Saturday, so make sure you stay tuned. I hope to see you guys in my next video. Thanks so much for watching, and happy holidays!